Hello there everybody and welcome back to Movie Squirm. Today I'm going to be reviewing In a Violent Nature from 2024, and it's directed by Chris Nash and stars Ray Barrett and Andrea Pavlovich. A bunch of people staying at a log cabin are taken out one by one, but this time we see the whole thing from the killer's perspective. Now I gotta be honest guys, I was quite excited for this film. Slasher is my favourite genre in horror, but it's always hard to do something with that subgenre because, I mean, what else can you do, really? I mean, there's been so many slasher movies over the years, and even though a lot of them are the same, I'm still happy to watch them, even if they are very similar. But this one looked like it was going to bring a brand new take by basically showing everything from the killer's perspective there. So we are just following the killer around instead of the camp counselors or the teenagers who are being butchered one by one. And I thought, you know what, that sounds like my type of thing. Anytime a filmmaker comes along and wants to try something brand new, even if he doesn't execute it properly in the end, I'm still glad that they take the chance, and I was definitely going to be checking this one out. Now, I had heard a bunch of bullshit about this movie because it's been out in the US for about a month or two, I believe. Yes, we get everything late here in the UK, of course. I'll never get over it. Please sort that shit out. Film distributors, God's sake. But I had heard some negative stuff going into this movie, that it was really boring, the novelty wears off very quickly, and the people were falling asleep and stuff. But I'm going to be honest, after watching this, I kind of disagree with them people. Yes, this movie is very experimental, but I still think they do a good job of giving us a story there. Now, it might not be the most out there story in the world. It might be the most simple slasher story that you're going to get. But at least they brought something to that, because following a killer around for 90% of the runtime can be hard to bring story to your movie, but they do a good job and bring different ways of telling us it. I just appreciated that. They also tried to bring a little bit of personality to the characters for the small screen time they get. So, you got to appreciate that. They didn't just go all full out following the killer around and that was it. They tried to bring something interesting to the film. And as a massive fan of slashers, I mean, I think it was just the slasher fan inside me, but I found this film to be very, very relaxing and soothing. Just following this killer around, like I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'm digging this. I like the over the shoulder sort of view from behind and seeing where he's going, seeing everything in front of him. I mean, I was just enjoying the relaxation of it. I know that's weird to say that about a lunatic walking around killing people, but something about it just worked for me. And there are some very nice shots here. Like I said, you can see things that are happening in front of this killer. I mean, when you see the teenagers drive past in the van and he's looking from a distance, I mean, that just kind of reminded me of all them Friday the 13th movies that I'd watched, all the Halloween movies where he's kind of eyeing up his victims there. Also, when he's walking towards people he's about to kill and they're screaming and running away, I mean, it was just so fun to see it from the killer's point of view. I mean, it kind of just has the slasher fans at heart. It understands how slashers work. But I also really just loved the environment here. Now, In a Violent Nature definitely lives up to its name because there's a lot of violence happening here. But the natural aspects of this landscape, these tall mountains, these trees, this killer wading through the grass, the long grass there, the insects, the animals, the wildlife, you can just hear it all in the background as it's happening. Just added to that relaxing, soothing feeling that I was talking about there. And I just think they got that down to a T. However, guys, like I said, there is some violence and they are far from soothing scenes to watch when it gets to that. I mean, there are some really fucking brutal kills in here. This movie goes absolute all out for the gore. I mean, I'd heard a lot of talk about this one kill that happens in about the middle of the film, and yes, it was a very, very interesting, creative, and violent kill. I mean, I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. It was so inventive. So I gotta give props to the movie for that. But it wasn't just that. I was kind of loving the other kills as well. Even though they weren't as good as that one, they were still awesome kills, I thought. You know, this has a great mixture for slasher fans, I feel, with the kills. And if you're a gore hound, I don't think you're going to be disappointed one bit here. Now, this killer is absolutely brutal in this movie. There are zero fucks given. And Ry Barrett, who plays this killer, I think he got it all off to a T. I mean, he's got this masculine build. He definitely is based off Jason Voorhees. You can just tell a mile off. I mean, it's just a lot of things about him that remind me of that character. But he's got the walk that, I mean, he is arguably the most important. No, in fact, he is the most important character in this movie because the whole focus is on him. I mean, if you look at the credits in horror movies, the killer is usually like somewhere down the line, but he is billed as the main star of this film, and understandably so, because he is basically in 95% of the scenes here, and he's got the whole walk down to a T. He walks at a good pace like a serial killer would, I feel. When he tilts his head and turns around the corners and stuff, he just looks like he's eyeing everyone up for, you know, dead meat, basically. And I thought he'd done an exceptional job. However, guys, I have one massive, huge problem with this movie that brought the score down quite a bit. Now, it all takes place in the third act, and the way this movie decides to go irritated the hell out of me because I was kind of really digging what it was going for, and then it kind of does something a little bit different, and I was like, oh, why did we do this? And it doesn't pay off at all. They didn't execute it very well, and it felt a little bit pretentious the way they were doing it. And I just thought, oh my God, that has just ruined a really decent slasher there for me. So that is a shame, because that's the last thing you remember when you come out of movies, isn't it? The last 20 minutes. And I just thought, I just felt like it was a huge, huge mistake to do that. But I gotta respect the director's way of doing things. That's the way he wants to go, clearly, because it's a big chunk of the film. But it just didn't work for me. I will say as well, even though there is personality to some of the characters here, some of them are a little bit annoying for the small screen time they get. I mean, just the way they talk with the dialogue and stuff, they're kind of just like, oh man, I can't wait for this person to just be murdered because he's pissing me off every time he comes on screen. Not all the characters, some of them are decent enough, but one or two of them, I'm just like, I just do not like your personality whatsoever. And I feel like that is a big problem with slasher movies. They always suffer in the character department. It's the hardest thing to nail down, I feel, because most of them are just there to be killed anyway, and they don't have much screen time. So, I mean, I wasn't going in expecting a big character development story anyway, but one or two of them just slightly irritating. Now, guys, just before going into this movie, try and work out if it's going to be for you. I don't want people coming here and going, oh, you said this and that and it wasn't boring and you disagree with them people. You've got to know what you're getting into. This is definitely not going to be for everyone. I think it is only for slasher fans, and a lot of slasher fans still won't like it. So just know that going in. It's definitely a Marmite film, I feel. I'm just going to go ahead and make this movie now. I'm going to give it In a Violent Nature a 6.5 out of 10. I definitely would have given this a higher score. It was just really left on a sour note there. I really wish they didn't do that. But a unique, fresh take on the slasher genre, and I appreciate the filmmakers for going down this route and bringing us something I really haven't seen before. Okay, guys, hope you all enjoyed this review. If you want more 2024 horror movie reviews, they will be in the link down below. Please give this video a like and subscribe if horror is your sort of thing. And what did you think of this film? Please do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll get back to you all, I promise. Thanks so much, guys. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video.